So today we're going to be talking about Hoopa and Diancie in Pokemon Legends ZA. Now you're probably thinking, Nick, what could these Pokemon possibly have to do with this game? And honestly, I think they have a lot to do in this game. You see, Pokemon X and Y were one of the few games that never received a third version. Despite interviews regarding a Pokemon Z existing, or being in development, or being thought of, the game existed at one point. And I honestly think that Pokemon Legends ZA is Game Freak's attempt at fixing what they couldn't do by adding a little bit of a different twist to the game as well. I say all that to say Pokemon X and Y were games that had a lot of cut content and a lot of content that went towards the movies and Sun and Moon afterwards, or Oris as well. And for a very long time, X and Y were kind of just lost in the wind and nobody really cared about them afterwards. Now, these two are movie-only Pokemon, and I realized there was never really like an actual event regarding these Pokemon at all in their own game or even in Oris. I mean, literally, all you had to do was go to the movies and or get a code and just download them via mystery gift. That's really it. It's not like in Sinnoh where there's a whole new location for a Pokemon, kind of like how there is for Darkrai and Shaman. No, you kind of just get them and you just mystery gift them whatever NPC gives you the, I guess, item that's associated with them, and that's it, you're done. And so in this game, I honestly think that we're gonna be able to get Hoopa Unbound, Diancie, and Mega Diancie in our own way. Now, before we get into this, just know this is a for fun video, a really small speculation theory video, a what if scenario. Do not take this serious. Don't put no negativity in the comment section. Nobody cares. Go do something else with your life, please. But I was thinking for the Hoopa event, it could be something revolving around the prison bottle. If you don't know, the prison bottle is how Hoopa becomes unbound. And Hoopa is also associated and inspired by like a genie or a djinn. And these Pokemon grant wishes, obviously. So what if, let's just say, somebody stole the bottle from, I don't know, whether or not it's somebody important, maybe it's a museum, maybe in Legends ZA there is a catacomb based system and they find it in there, you never know. Either way, the end result is this person gains access and control over Hoopa. And while he has control over Hoopa, obviously the rest of the region is in disarray, and it's up to you, the protagonist, to stop them from doing so. Now, how I was thinking about it was this could either be like one of those like DLC events, or maybe just another one of those like little small things they have on the side. But if you don't know, Hoopa's unbound state is not a permanent state at all, like it is in the games. This event could be one of those long side quest lines that last a couple of in-game days and or a couple in-game hours. And I'm not talking about like a live service MMORPG kind of thing. I just really think, you know, it could be like one of those things where like in lore, in the story, this event lasted about an hour or two, because Hoopa's Unbound state does not last that long. I think on Bulbapedia somewhere it says about like 3 or 4 hours or something like that. I don't know if that's real or not, I don't know. But obviously you and whatever rival, professor, something, they look into it. You obviously stop the protagonist or the antagonist for that story, and either you get the chance to catch Hoopa, or Hoopa comes to you, or you get the bottle. Something happens to where you're going to be able to get Hoopa and be able to have him completely to put him in the Pokemon home. Maybe in some cases he could start teleporting other legendary Pokemon like he does in the movie, or other rare Pokemon from different routes. Or maybe Hoopa is an active force in the region, and that's where our space-time distortions come from in this game, as opposed to the space-time distortions in Legends Arceus, where like randomly a ring hole opens up and a rare Pokemon pops up that's not supposed to be from either this timeline or this world entirely. Or maybe Hoopa could be the reason why the legendary birds and Mewtwo are here in the first place, because I'm pretty sure everybody else had the same thought. Why the hell are the legendary birds and Mewtwo in Kalos? Now let's switch over to Diancie, another movie-only Pokemon, but this one has a lot more like curiosity to it, because I don't understand how we never got like an actual in-game event for this Pokemon. You see, it's stated that Diancie is a mutation, a random sudden mutation of Carbink. And in every iteration of Carbink and Diancie's relationship you see on screen, there's always one Diancie and hella Carbink. And so that means that obviously Diancie is the queen of whatever species they are. She's very strong, yada yada yada. The species like a hive mind where she leads it, and that's pretty much it. They're like servants, kind of like how Vespiquen and Combees are, you know? And this Pokemon has a mega evolution, but doesn't have an in-game event, cutscene, or anything. Why? I think this would be like the perfect opportunity to expand Reflection Cave because you can get Carbink in Reflection Cave. Those are stone Pokemon. Diamonds, come on, like what are we doing here? And it's right next to Shalora City where you get your Mega Evolution, and it could be like a side event where you and the ancestor of Karina or somebody goes to investigate either like a wandering, lost, maybe injured or afraid Carbink, and Diancie is in trouble from something. Now obviously Diancie didn't get its Mega Evolution until after Oris, but I do think that it always existed at one point. So even if you don't Mega Evolve Diancie, I think having a Diancie in-game event or like a cutscene or a side quest line could really go the long way. I mean, why not? We have a whole cave dedicated to its species. I'm pretty sure you can only get Carbink in Reflection Cave now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. X and Y Reflection Cave and Omega Green Alpha Sapphire is a trade. Are we serious? I remember these Pokemon being in the files of X and Y the moment everybody got their hands on like Game Shark, whatever the game thing was that people had to unlock their games. And the internet went crazy because it's the exact same time that we saw Shiny Arceus, it was Hoopa, it was Volcanion. We saw Shiny Zygarde too, it was kind of cool. And then obviously you can get AZ's Floette. Now AZ's Floette is a very interesting Pokemon because this Pokemon can pretty much kind of like tie into AZ and be like either its own side quest line or maybe like its own, maybe it's part of the main story, you never know. I think that a lot of people would like to have AZ's Floette. Let me know in the comment section below if you would like to have AZ's Floette once and for all, because this Pokemon is still yet to come out for us. I don't think, we've never gotten it at all. And who knows, maybe this Pokemon might evolve in this game, you never know. Because for all we know, we could literally be in a different version of Kalos than the one that's in X and Y. I mean, for real, think about it. We're dealing with a timeline and a region where the actions of an individual has caused an entire universal, no, existing shift in the way of life for this world. So sometimes you gotta think outside of the box, especially with how they did Hisui. You know, maybe we might be able to give Carbink another form as well, and maybe make Carbink kind of look more like Diancie, and then that form that we see in X and Y of Carbink is more of like an eternal slumber. Maybe it's like, oh, the power has been depleted, and Diancie is like the original like form for these things. I don't know, but I do think these Pokemon deserve a in-game event. Volcanion is kind of hard to make a event for because this Pokemon is very interesting where like nobody knows where this thing is from. The only things we know about Volcanion is this Pokemon has been sighted in Kalos, Johto, Sinnoh, and that's it. But then in its Pokemon X and Y Pokedex entries, it's said to live in mountains where humans do not tread. And so a lot of people assume that Volcanion is from the southern region of Kalos where all that humongous mountain range is, which makes sense because there's been references to that southern part of the region in game before. And the only time we ever see Volcanion being expounded upon is in the Mechanical Marvel movie. And you can't really take a lot of that, you know, it's the movie continuity is not the game continuity. But if he's out here blowing mountains away, I mean, maybe he's the reason why the Kalos region looks like it does now, you know? It's shaped like a star, that's kind of random. Maybe it helped out, I don't know. Volcanion's very hard to like build something off of, I'm not gonna hold you. I've tried my hardest to like look around for anything, and maybe I haven't looked hard enough, not sure. All I see are a bunch of like, you know, theory videos, trying to make something up for him. But going off what we got, this Mon does not have a lot to think of. But I mean, maybe this southern region of Kalos could be explorable and you can go into that cave and you can get him, and there is a volcano something around there. You never know. I have no idea. But anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you guys would do to give these Pokemon a lot more representation outside of mystery gift events in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like in the comments, subscribe if you guys are new, and that's pretty much it. Bye, love you guys.